This is ARC Sports.
Welcome in to ARC PDX Sports, good people, and I hope you guys are having a phenomenal Tuesday. We have a great show for you folks tonight. Lewis and Clark College men's basketball made their first appearance in NCAA tournament since 2002. Unfortunately, they would fall in the first round of the tournament to University of St. Thomas, 67-50 the final. Lewis and Clark, they go on to finish this season an awesome 15-13. And here to talk about this season is Lewis and Clark assistant coach Shawn Carson. Coach, what it do, baby? How we doing today?
Doing well, yourself?
Oh, Coach, listen, I'm excited. This is the period where there's so much basketball happening. So March Madness is crazy. First of all, you're a ball player and everything, so I want to just ask you, how happy are you for it to be March Madness? Isn't it a fun time?
Oh, my gosh. I'm ecstatic, man. It's crazy. It's the best time of the year.
It is.
Nothing but basketball nonstop.
I'm trying to tell you. And talk a little bit about Lewis and Clark. You guys finished the season 15-13, an awesome year, especially historic for you guys. A little bit, what went into this season? What made you guys so special this year?
Honestly, it was a commitment from our players, right? They all bought in from the first day. Made it easier for me as a first-year coach with them coming in. So I just say, like, we just all bought in. We believed since day one. Right, since the first time we hit that court, we believed that we had something special, and we were able to prove that.
And this is your first year as well, being with Lewis and Clark. What was your experience been like? Lewis and Clark is a historic program around here, known for the basketball thing. So I'm curious, what was your experience like in your first year?
Oh, I had a great time. Right, everyone just welcomed me in. Like as soon as I got there, players, coaches from other teams. It's been great so far. I have nothing to complain about. And
for the 15-13, a record, Division III for them, first time since 2002. Talk about these players. How special was it for these players to be able to achieve something that, honestly, I know a lot of people kind of probably looked at Lewis and Clark coming into this season like, interesting, but you guys turned some heads. So talk a little bit on behalf of your players.
And our players were fantastic, right? We had a lot against us coming in, right? Picked to finish last, ended up finishing first in the conference tournament. So we had a lot to prove. And like I said, like we believed in ourselves that we could do it. Players are great, from our seniors all the way down to our underclassmen. Right, we had 8 seniors this year, so a lot of leadership, a lot of experience with it. And we had 4 underclassmen, 4 freshmen, 1 freshman who started as well. So I think we just all bought in from the get-go. And it was just amazing. It was fun to be with, honestly.
Was there a game this season on the schedule that after the victory, did you know that this team was special? Like you were like, all right, I think we really got something here. I'm curious, was there a specific game for that?
Honestly, I wouldn't say it was more games. It was back to like early practices.
Okay.
Early practices, early open gyms, just seeing them play and interact with each other. Right. The guys, like, they never took it easy on one another. Whether it's practice, on the court, like we competed with everything. So I think that just brought our spirit into the games of competing, right? We never felt like we were out of any game. We always felt like we had a reason to be in that game, a reason to win each game.
And you have about 10 players returning next year.
Yes.
So that, to have about 10, a good amount, basically your whole team is almost coming back. How important is it for a program to have so many starters returning, especially when you're now putting yourself guys on the map as a team that can and will definitely make the NCAA tournament more years and years to come? So I'm curious on how important is it to have these players kind of come back now that you guys are put on the map?
I think it's very important, right? From our seniors that are leaving, right? Our 8 seniors, they cemented their legacy. Like, they've done something that no one can ever take away from them. And then so for our players that we have returning, right, it's just we have something else to work towards. We have a new standard in the program, new expectations for next year. So as our freshmen, this is their first experience in a college atmosphere. And being this, they have a greater expectation to continue this.
I think that is something that D3 doesn't get a lot of credit about. It's talking about the educational side and also just how big. And they do put a lot of effort into their athletics as well. And Lewis and Clark is just a great example of that. I'm curious, during the season, it was funny. I was talking to a lot of friends just about Division III basketball, and I was like, Lewis and Clark, one of our local teams, has been killing it. How have you guys been able to get people in the stands, show people that Division III basketball is worth watching?
Honestly, it's been, well, we have a great, like, home crowd, home base, right? A lot of home support.
Big time.
Right, so Lewis and Clark itself is a great community. We support one another. And then one, being born and raised from Portland, right? I know a lot of people as well. So just being here, talking, Portland's very much a basketball city. So everyone here loves basketball and just loves to watch it. So it's just great to have people come out and watch, supporters, friends, old teammates, other coaches in the area. So we just all try to support one another.
What would you say was your favorite part of this season?
Honestly, it's like the road trips, right?
Really?
Everything off the road trips to California, traveling to Houston for the tournament, driving back and forth to Washington for games. So it was all the off-court experiences with the guys and the coaches. You just can't take that for granted.
You can't, I know, and I'm sure that there's going to be so much more of those stories, especially with you guys going to the NCAA tournament your years and years to come. Stick around. Welcome back into PDX Sports. Lewis and Clark, Coach Shawn Carson with me to talk a little bit about Division III basketball, Division III sports, and an awesome season they've had. Coach, first of all, I know you went to Bushnell University here in Eugene. I'm curious, what made you choose a Division III? Because you know, as an athlete, everybody want to play Division I. That's obviously a goal that a lot of athletes have, and they kind of put that in their head, and it sticks. But you found another avenue to be able to play at the next level. So I'm curious, what was your thoughts when you decided to commit to Bushnell and stay there?
Honestly, my thoughts was, one, right, being from Portland, I wanted to be close to home. And then I just liked what Division III was, or sorry, Bushnell's NAIA, but it competes with everything just as much. So athletes still skilled, talented, everything, and just basketball is basketball. You have athletes who are great at everything everywhere. So, and then you have the student side of it, the academics, which kept me on track with everything and set me up for success.
Is that hard? Is it hard to recruit kids that kind of already have that mindset of they want to play Division I basketball, and you know, maybe they can walk on somewhere, but they'll get a better opportunity to play right away if they went to a D3. So I'm curious, how is it recruiting kids that kind of have that mindset?
I think the biggest thing is just giving the players, the kids, the information of it, because I feel like there's a lot of information out there that can get lost. So as long as we can provide them the information, the one, to the questions they're asking, and then two, also to answer the questions that they don't know of. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you don't know something. If you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
Until someone tells you. So that's our biggest thing, is just being transparent with them and letting them know like what Division III is all about in terms of being a student athlete, right? So you got to handle the classroom first, anywhere you go, and then you got to handle the athletic side. It's just finding that balance between both. Anywhere.
Well, you know, being with NAIA as well is definitely a different division, but it's a tough brand of it's a tough brand of basketball. It's a tough brand in the sports. So when you talk to these kids a little bit about the opportunities that you have at Lewis and Clark, how are those conversations? Is it easier with everything that kind of going on in college athletics, from the transfer portals to the easily miscued ways of NIL and things of that sort? So when you talk to these kids, what are those conversations like when you're trying to bring them to Lewis and Clark?
Honestly, it's just telling them, just being honest with them, telling them what the school's about, being upfront about everything, and let them know that it's more than an investment in terms of the athletic side, right? We do this to invest in themselves, invest in the long run, making sure that they're not just winners or great athletes when they leave, but making sure that they're great people, that they learn, that we set them up the best for adulthood, for life after college, life after sports.
What's something that you think that they get at Lewis and Clark that they probably won't get at Ohio State University?
I think the attention to detail, right? It's a lot more focused, everyone's together, and then I'd say, right, Lewis and Clark, local school, local area, you have the city, it's gonna be the city, you have the secluded area of the school, right? So it's just, you can find anything you want at Lewis and Clark, right? Whatever you're into, whether it could be acting classes, sports, economics, right? You have a little bit of everything.
And my question is, especially being a D3 athlete myself, I went to Beloit College in Wisconsin, Midwest Conference. By the way, if you guys got to know that, Division III, played football and ran track for them in a really competitive conference, and just a competitive division. The athletes, the attention to detail you talked about, that is something that they can't get at those big university things. That was that something that kind of drew you to wanting to coach at Lewis and Clark University? The attention and the detail that you'll be able to get with these kids hands-on day in, day out.
Of course, right? Just loving to work with the kids, with the players, turn them into young men, right? Going into this world and then just being able to focus with them. And I think that honestly, anywhere is just making sure there's great people for outside the gym, off the field, off the court. I think that's the thing that matters the most. Yeah.
I'm curious. Elaborate a little bit more on that.
Exactly. Well.
Like the crowd and the student section and kind of the people you're hanging around with, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Big time is always important to have those people around you, especially at a D3. Lewis and Clark coach Shawn Carson with us. Shawn, I appreciate you so much, and congrats on an amazing season. This is his first year, so you'll definitely be seeing Coach around more, especially at the high schools recruiting. Appreciate you, Coach, and still ahead on Tarks